Welcome to Miss Scarlett, the place to be feminine. Subscribe and enjoy. The autumn wind whistled through the eaves of the cozy bungalow nestled on Maple Street. Inside, Oswin paced the living room, his stomach tied in knots. He glanced at the clock. 5:47 p.m. Yara would be home from her nursing shift any minute. Oswin took a deep breath, trying to calm his nerves. After 12 years of marriage, he knew in his heart it was time to share his deepest secret with his wife. For as long as he could remember, Oswin had felt a profound desire to express his feminine side through clothing. Growing up in a conservative household, he had always suppressed those feelings out of shame and fear of judgment. But over the past year, as their marriage grew increasingly strained by mounting bills, busy work schedules, and emotional distance, Oswin realized he could no longer hide this integral part of himself. He longed to be fully seen and accepted by Yara. Even if she couldn't understand it, he had to give her the chance. The jangle of keys in the front door made Oswin jump. He smoothed his sweaty palms against his jeans as Yara entered, shaking off her coat with a sigh. "Hey, honey, I'm home," she called out, kicking off her clogs. When she spotted Oswin standing stiffly in the middle of the room, Yara paused, her green eyes filling with concern. "Everything okay? You look pale." Oswin swallowed hard. "Yeah, I need to talk to you about something." Yara's brow furrowed as she crossed to him. "What is it? Did something happen?" "No, nothing like that. Oswin took her hands in his, meeting her worried gaze. "There's a part of myself I've never shared with you. Something I've struggled with my whole life." Yara squeezed his fingers. "Oswin, you're scaring me. Whatever it is, we'll get through it together. I'm here for you." Moisture pricked the corners of his eyes at her loving reassurance. "I know we've been distant lately, working opposite shifts, barely connecting. I miss you, Yar. I miss us. And I realized that I can't fully give myself to you, to our marriage, unless I'm being fully honest." Oswin led her to the couch, and they both sat, knees touching. He took a fortifying breath. "The truth is, I've always felt drawn to expressing my feminine energy through clothing. I love the feeling of soft fabrics against my skin, the swish of a skirt, lace and ruffles and delicate prints. It makes me feel alive inside in a way I can't describe." Yara listened intently, not a flicker of judgment in her caring eyes. Oswin continued, his voice growing stronger. "I know it might sound strange. It's about my identity. Connecting with a side of myself I've had to hide away. I'm still me, still the man you married. Crossdressing is just an outlet that feeds my soul." Tears slid down Oswin's cheeks as the words poured out of him. "I love you so much, Yara. I don't want to keep any part of myself secret from you anymore. Even if you can't relate to this, I'm asking you to keep an open mind, to see me, all of me, and hopefully still love me." Yara reached out to brush the wetness from his face, her own eyes glistening. "Oh, Oswin, I had no idea you were carrying this inside you for so long. I'm so sorry you felt you couldn't share this with me before." She scooted closer, wrapping her arms around him. "Listen to me. I love you for exactly who you are. Nothing could ever change that. You never need to hide any piece of yourself from me. I'm your wife. I'm here to support you unconditionally." Oswin melted into her embrace, relief flooding through him. They held each other for a long moment, hearts beating together. When they eventually pulled back, Yara cupped his face in her hands. "Thank you for trusting me with this. I know how much strength that took." Her eyes sparkled with affection. "So, when do I get to see this other side of you? I want to know every part of the incredible man I married." Oswin huffed out a surprised laugh, joy expanding in his chest. "Really? You'd want that?" "Of course I do. In sickness and health, in dresses and pants." She smirked, then grew more serious. "I mean it, Oz. I want to understand this part of you, and if it's something that makes you feel good, I want to support it." Fresh tears spilled over Oswin's lashes. "I love you so much. You have no idea what this means to me." He rose and held out his hand to her. "Come on, I'll show you." Oswin led Yara to their bedroom. His heart hammered as he slid open the closet door to reveal a rainbow of flowing fabrics, dresses and skirts in various colors and prints. Yara gasped softly beside him. "Oswin, it's beautiful. Look at all these gorgeous clothes." With trembling hands, Oswin selected a favorite sundress, pale yellow with a delicate floral pattern. He held it up to his chest. "This one always makes me feel so pretty and feminine," he said shyly. "I'd like you to see me in it, if you want." Yara beamed at him. "I'd love that. You're going to look amazing." Pulse racing with excitement and lingering nerves, Oswin took the dress to the bathroom to change, carefully pulled the sundress over his head. The whisper-soft fabric settled over his body like a caress. Oswin paused to look at his reflection. For the first time, he didn't feel the need to quickly glance away. Seeing himself draped in this beautiful dress, about to step out and be fully seen by the woman he loved most, it felt like coming home to himself. He emerged from the bathroom to find Yara waiting on the edge of the bed. When she saw him, her eyes widened and her hands flew to her mouth. "Oh my God, Oswin!" She stood and crossed to him, taking his hands and holding him at arm's length to admire the full look. "Baby, you look incredible! That color, that cut, it suits you perfectly." Color bloomed in Oswin's cheeks as he soaked in her reaction. "You really think so? I was so afraid you'd think it was weird or ugly." "Not at all. Oswin, you're gorgeous, inside and out. I'm so happy I get to see this side of you." Yara pulled him close and kissed him softly. Oswin relaxed against her, his heart so full it felt fit to burst. When they broke apart, Yara had a mischievous glint in her eye. "You know what? I think this calls for a fashion show. Go try on some other outfits for me. I want to ooh and ah over my beautiful husband properly." Oswin laughed, dizzy with happiness and relief. "I think that can be arranged." Over the next hour, Oswin modeled dress after dress for Yara. Lace and chiffon and chantilly swished around his body as he twirled for her, basking in her applause and compliments. They giggled together like carefree kids, the years of strain and disconnect between them melting away. As the evening light faded outside their window, Oswin and Yara lay cuddled together atop the bed, Oswin still wearing a pretty silk nightgown. Yara stroked his arm, pressing a kiss to his temple. "Thank you for sharing this with me," she murmured. "I feel so much closer to you, like I'm seeing you, really seeing you, for the first time in a long time." Oswin traced his fingers over her knuckles. "I was so scared to tell you. I thought it might be the thing that finally broke us. But I should have known better. Should have trusted in your love. Well, you never need to be afraid of that again. I'm here, and I love every single part of you." Yara snuggled closer. "In fact, I was thinking, maybe we could go shopping together sometime. Pick you out some new dresses and skirts. Make a day of it." Oswin lifted his head to search her face. "Really? You'd do that with me?" "Of course. It would be so much fun. And you deserve to have clothes that make you feel beautiful and express who you are." Her expression grew playful. "Besides, I can't wait to show off my pretty husband on my arm." Laughter bubbled up Oswin's throat, bright and free. I'd love that. Oh, Yara, I'd absolutely love that. Yara's suggestion hung in the air between them, shimmering with possibility. Oswin's heart fluttered at the thought of going out together, expressing his feminine side freely for the first time. You mean it? Us going out with me dressed up? Oswin asked, his voice trembling slightly. In public? Yara smiled reassuringly, squeezing his hand. Absolutely. I want you to feel comfortable and confident being your full self, not just behind closed doors. We'll take it at your pace, go wherever you feel safe, but I'll be right there with you. Tears of gratitude prickled Oswin's eyes. He couldn't believe this was really happening, that after decades of repression and secrecy, he had the unconditional love and support to step out into the world as he longed to. Let's do it, he said, resolve strengthening his words. This weekend. We'll make a whole day of it. A makeover, some shopping, maybe lunch out. Yara grinned, eyes sparkling with excitement. Perfect! Operation Gorgeous Oswin is a go. The next morning, Oswin woke with nervous butterflies dancing in his stomach, but they were the good kind, fluttering with happy anticipation rather than dread. He slipped out of bed, careful not to wake Yara, and padded to the bathroom. Oswin turned the shower on hot and stepped under the spray, letting the steam envelop him as he began his usual routine. But, as he reached for the soap, Yara's words from the night before echoed in his mind. I want you to feel comfortable and confident being your full self. He hesitated, then set the soap back down. If he was really going to embrace this side of himself, it was time to go all in. Oswin retrieved his razor and shaving cream, supplies he normally reserved for tidying up his facial hair. With a deep breath, he lathered up his legs and carefully began running the razor over his skin in long, smooth strokes. The hair fell away, leaving behind silky expanses of bare skin. Oswin shaved all the way up to his thighs, then moved on to his underarms and chest. He worked methodically, his nerves calming with each deliberate glide of the razor. By the time he finished, Oswin felt like a new person, fresh, feminine, ready for a transformation. He turned off the water and reached for a fluffy towel, catching sight of his hairless body in the foggy mirror. A thrill ran through him at the reflection, an unfamiliar yet welcome version of himself. Securing the towel around his waist, Oswin stepped out of the bathroom to find Yara up and moving around their bedroom. She looked over at him with a bright smile. There's my beautiful husband, she said warmly, crossing to loop her arms around his neck. Her hands skimmed down his back and over his smooth shoulders. Ooh, someone's all soft and silky today. I like this. Oswin ducked his head shyly, pleased. It felt right. I want the full experience. And you shall have it, Yara declared. She took his hand and led him to sit at her vanity table. But first, makeover time. Let's bring out that inner goddess. Yara draped a floral silk robe around Oswin's shoulders and got to work. She gently smoothed primer and foundation over his freshly shaven skin, blending it down his neck. Oswin closed his eyes, savoring the soft brush of the makeup sponges. Contouring, Yara narrated as she worked. Blush. Now a shimmery highlight. Okay, eyeshadow time. I'm thinking a nice soft rose gold. Oswin sat in blissful relaxation as Yara painted and powdered his face. The whisper-light touch of the brushes and the cool sweep of the products lulled him into a dreamy headspace he'd never quite accessed before. All right, eyes are done. Let's move on to lips. Oswin peeked one eye open to see Yara twisting up a tube of creamy pink lipstick. She outlined his lips with a liner pencil, tongue poking out the side of her mouth in concentration, then filled them in with the lipstick. "Rub your lips together for me." "Perfect." "Okay, my love, take a look." Yara turned Oswin to face the mirror. His breath caught at the sight of his reflection. Smoky rose eyeshadow made his blue eyes pop behind fluttery black lashes. A sweep of shimmery blush highlighted his cheekbones, and his lips were a lush petal pink. He looked undeniably feminine and beautiful. "Wow," Oswin breathed, reaching up to touch his face in wonder. I'm gorgeous." "Yes, you are," Yara agreed proudly. She squeezed his shoulders. "And we're just getting started. Time to pick out your outfit, milady." Still in a daze, Oswin let Yara lead him to the closet. Together they flipped through his modest collection of women's clothing. Yara held up options, considering them with a critical eye. I'm thinking this one." Thanks for watching, my girlies! Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next part.